Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. Kicking off the morning. Come to get 2 parts real quick, and then I'm heading out to Willie Gillie's place. To the left is cars, to the right is trucks. We didn't know the firewall mount on Willie Gillie's car was destroyed, so I think I need 3 parts. A all-wheel drive subframe butt mount, the firewall mount, and the valve stem cap for the fuel rail. I put that one on after checking fuel pressure, and that thing just disintegrated in my hand. So it's probably fuel vapors contaminated it, destroyed the plastic. I like this Junkyard. It's relatively clean to move around in. The concrete ground, and look like they pick up a little bit. So let's go to the Volvo section, people. All right, here we are back to Willie Gillie's car. We're going to do the timing belt on this thing. This thing has about 95,000 miles on the timing belt. We just realized that. The garage is full of gas. We probably shouldn't have done that with that water heater over there. It looked like a gas water heater. But anyway, Gilbert's went to go get the timing belt parts, and I'm going to get this mount together, get all this stuff together here, and get this engine situated, and then start on the timing belt. So when he gets back, I can put that fuel pump in. He should come back with a fuel pump, and then get the timing belt on. Hopefully be done in 3-4 hours. Let's get this mount in and go from there. Oh wow, this car just keeps giving. I just noticed the radiator is hanging down. On this side it's hanging down about a 1/2 inch. On that side it's hanging down a whole inch. So let me get under here and see what's going on with this radiator. See if I get this package back up and where it's supposed to be. The coolant reservoir bottle, the tabs are broken on it, and the power steering pump. So got the windshield wiper stuff together, new cabin air filter installed, so the mounting system should be good. Well, this is never good. The bolt coming out of the timing belt cover is saturated in oil, so something's leaking in here. Well, I don't see nothing right off the cuff, so probably this cam seal or this VVT hub. Crap. Let me go ahead and work on getting the serpentine belt off. Take a closer look at this cam seal situation. That's nasty. Look close, you could already see the cracks in this timing belt. That thing is got enough miles on it. Good thing we decided to visit the mileage on that to replace it. Can't really tell where this oil's coming out of, if it's coming out of the cam cover or what. This cam cover was off. It looks like a minor leak, and I can't see any oil on the back of either one of these cams. So looks like that looks relatively dry. So probably gonna revisit this again in the spring. Well, I have an odd one here. We got a freaking water pump leak. Look at it. For some reason, this is the first time I ever seen a water pump leak in 4 years. 100,000 miles on one of these. So I need to talk to Willie Gillie, see what he wants to do about that. This rear latch out of the 850 is different than this rear latch out of this V70. Couple things are different. I don't know what to think of it, but I don't think I'm going to try to put this one in because it's got some of the linkage stuff is different, and I don't want to have something in there that's not going to work right. Weird. For this hood release thing, we got this from AutoZone, I believe, and it has several of them in there, and it looks like 2 of them will fit and work. So probably better to get new than try to use old from the Junkyard. Alright, there it is. The linkage works. Next we're going to deal with this fuel pump. We got the new fuel pump from Volvo, I believe, and I kept this gasket, and it's a good thing I did because they didn't supply a gasket. So this ring comes off with the same tool that gets the ring off for the 850s. Let's go over there and prepare to put this in, take all this plastic stuff off, and it looks like we don't have a gasket issue on this one, so we should be good to go. Next thing I did was disconnect all the fuel pump wires. The fuel pump has these 3 connectors. I hooked another wire onto it so I can feed the wire through the route that it went. I pushed the wires down there with the wire tied to it, and then I came over here where the fuel pump came out and pulled the fuel pump wires out with this. So now I have the new fuel pump assembly. I'm about to tie that wire harness up to this and thread them back through under the car and over the tank, and then I'll be prepared to install the fuel pump. Actually, I'm going to put the fuel pump in the hole first. Stretch the gasket on the way the last one came off. I took this piece of 1x4, I put it up over the tank like that. Then I took my pry bar that I used to get out CV axles, and I put it in here this way on top of this piece of wood, protecting the tank from the metal. Then I pried it down as best I could, and I put a piece of 2x4 on top of the tank to keep the tank wedged down, and that's how my access is to get this pump assembly in there. So I took the plastic off the float. I'm going to take this rubber band off the float. I maneuver this inside the tank so that it sits in there, and it has to sit in there level like this. Your lines has to be level for that to sit in the tank properly and get all the gas off the bottom of the tank. So that's how that has to sit in there. Let me maneuver it in there and get it secure. So I pried and maneuvered that in there, and it's in the tank. So now I need to get it in position so that I can put the cap on there. Make sure it's in there right and level. It's going to take 2 hands. That's the way that looks before I put the locking ring on there. So you want to make sure that seal is on the lip of that tank like that. I tightened it in by hand. As you can see, the float turned, so I'm going to use this tool to straighten this back out. Alright, now I'm going to put the tightening tool on there, tighten it down, knock the tip off of that thing down there. I'm going to cap that back on and then try to tighten this cap. But I want to keep those level because I don't want that float not being flat in the tank. I put this on here and I went to tighten it down and it started turning a little more. So I put the tool in there, turned it back counterclockwise so that it was on a little bit of an angle. Then I tightened this down with the tool. I can't get it off with my hand. And as I tightened it, it leveled these back out. So that's where I'm going to leave that. All right, the last people that did a fuel pump left some lines dangling. So I got to get those lines up and out of the way so they don't get jacked up by the axle spinning. Looked like it was spinning, chewing on those lines. So I got the lines in under here. I'm going to go ahead and pull those dust caps off, hook up the lines, pry that down to get that 2x4 out of there. We're going to fire it up, make sure it works. I made a mistake and did not test the fuel pump before I installed it. Hopefully that won't bite me in the butt. He's going to cycle the key. Hey, it did cycle. Cut it off, cycle it 2 more times. All right, no leak, built-in pressure.
And it reads empty.
All right, cycle the key 1 more time. All right, see if it'll start. All right, 1 more time. I think we got enough gas in here for this thing to start.
It's empty.
Let him try to start it again. Hold on, let me go do it. He's getting scared. It appears that we are out of gas. So with the car leaning and all the stuff we done and drained it totally out of gas. So we're gonna have to go get a couple gallons and see if we can get this thing to start. Because being up on here, it's not gonna start. While Willie Gillie goes gets gas, I'm going to replace a latch. You see, when you lock the door, you unlock it. Heck, none of these things are unlocking. Especially this one back here. So, see if this one unlocks. Anyway, I know this one's not unlocking, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that latch. I'm going to plug the one up that I repaired first, make sure it works. I'm going to have Willie Gillie hit the unlock, and that should work. Hit the unlock button so I can see if this latch works. Yep, this one works. The rest of them probably don't. Alright, good. It works. I'm going to swap these latches out. Prime it 3 times, see if it'll start.
Yep.
Off. Oh, it sounds different to you?
Yep.
Alright. Alright, try to start it. And she's running. About to run out of gas, but at least it started.
Making me cry.
Alright.
So happy.
We are back at the junkyard. I was supposed to be on my way back to Albuquerque, but Willie Gillie, he can't figure it out, man. I mean, this car, we're rebuilding this car. Got the fuel pump in, it's running, but he's got all kind of stuff missing, need all kind of stuff. So I'm back out here trying to figure out if I can find everything, rest of the stuff you need. I got a little list. Then I'm give him the rebuilt latches I have and rebuild those, the ones that I get from him. And his remote's not working, but I don't think I have a remote to give him a try to reprogram. So anyway, we're rolling. Went to do his timing belt and his dang on water pump's leaking. So he's gonna have a nicely rebuilt car here in a few minutes. We are headed down to the Volvos. They dropped a couple Volvos here, so we're able to get the parts he needs. For some reason, he wants to pull an alternator and an AC compressor and a starter out of the junkyard. I just think that's a waste. You get a starter that's been sitting somewhere for 2-3 years, that thing may poop out in 2 weeks. But I think you're better off keeping the one that's running every day. So let's see what else we need to get from here for his car and keep it moving. Well, the seats look decent. Made it back from the junkyard to Willie Gillie's car, and I've come to the conclusion that you got to go bumper to bumper to these cars every 4 years. So if you do the timing belt, everything else the car needs, 4 years from then, all this stuff's going to be waiting to be done again. So that's where we're at. I'm going to start back here on this door panel. I'm going to remove this door panel here, which I already got off. Remove the driver's door panel. I'm going to glue those clips on. Then I'm going to replace the latches with the ones I got rebuilt. Then I'm going to install the door panels and get back here on this rear hatch. The main thing you need to deal with on these door panels are these things here. You have to scrape this glue off of here because that's stopping the fresh glue from sticking on there. I'm going to use this contact glue. Scrape this off here. Scrape any of the glue you got off there. Wire brush would work. And then work on using the contact glue to glue that stuff back on. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.